Morning guys, it's Saturday. I haven't been vlogging because it's a very soggy, gross day.
Yes.
Oh, it's saying 0 minutes. Anyway, I'm here with Holly. We've just been to the medicine garden in Cobham. Had a hot chockey and a chamomile, was it? What did you have, tea?
Chamomile tea.
Chamomile tea. And just had a little mooch. It's really lovely here. But now we're going to get in the car, dry off, and talk more about our thoughts, feelings and emotions. That's what we tend to do, isn't it?
We love doing that, don't we?
We do a bit of self-help sessions.
I bloody love it.
Yeah, she's been filling me in on the latest books I need to get, which I'll tell you about soon if I buy any. Yeah, let's get dry.
Yeah.
Guys, another Monday morning has arrived. I've been feeling stressed all this weekend and I've got terrible IBS today, but I stress myself out with these sort of things. Basically, I'm off to London soon to interview Dame Helen Mirren. Come on, can you blame me? It's not every day you get to interview a dame or an Oscar winner. So I headed to the Soho Hotel to talk about Winchester, a ghost and haunted house story inspired by true events. On an isolated stretch of land 50 miles outside of San Francisco sits the most haunted house in the world. Built by Sarah Winchester, played by Academy Award winner Helen Mirren, heiress to the Winchester fortune, is a house that knows no end, constructed in an incessant 24-hour-a-day, 7-day-a-week mania for decades. It stands 7 stories tall and contains hundreds of rooms. To the outsider, it looks like a monstrous monument to a disturbed woman's madness. But Sarah is not building for herself, for her niece, or the brilliant Dr. Eric Price, whom she has summoned to the house. She is building a prison, an asylum for hundreds of vengeful ghosts, and the most terrifying among them have a score to settle with the Winchesters.
It's a gargantuan 7-storied structure with no apparent rhyme or reason. Each maze of halls more confusing than the next. It's under never-ending construction. It was built on the orders of a grieving widow. Sarah Winchester is the majority shareholder of the Winchester Repeating Arms Company.
You want to take it away from her?
We're worried about her sanity, Dr. Price.
Do you believe in ghosts, Doctor?
I do not believe in anything I cannot see or study.
I can feel it. In the air, in the walls. This spirit has a power we've not seen before. It has found us.
So I'm here to talk to you about Winchester today, and I've been watching lots of interviews with you over the weekend, and I see that you don't actually believe in ghosts. So I wondered if that served as a nice challenge for you to become Sarah and kind of invest in that story.
Yes, I mean, you know, my job as an actor is to pretend to be all kinds of things that I'm not, you know. That's my job.
Yeah.
So I don't have an issue with that. And although I don't believe in ghosts per se, I do believe in, I never quite know how to define this, but I believe in the marks that humanity leave behind. I think especially with clothes, I have some really extraordinary stories related to clothes and coincidence that you think this just can't be a coincidence. This is too extreme. So I do believe that people in houses or with personal possessions leave their presence in some way or other. But all I can say is I've never seen a ghost. Until I have seen one, I'm not going to believe in them.
Which could happen, you never know.
Yes, which could happen, absolutely.
Follow me, Doctor. There are almost 100 rooms in the house. It's easy to get lost.
to talk about when you stepped onto the Winchester estate, because obviously, because of your stance towards ghosts, you might have been a bit resistant to, I don't know, feeling eerie or creeped out, but...
No, but I didn't feel that at all. But what I did feel, and I felt it very strongly, I felt the presence of Sarah Winchester in the sense of her, and everything that I read about Sarah Winchester. She retired from life. She became a recluse and started building this house for whatever reason. And there are many legends attached to that. And one of the legends, which is the one that we go with in the film, was that she was trying to placate the spirits, the ghosts of the people who had been murdered, killed, I should say, by the Winchester rifle. But going into the house, I felt her presence more than anything, and I do feel houses, as I said earlier, with clothes, with personal possessions, something of the character, the personality, the energy of the person who inhabits that house communicates, especially in a house like the Winchester house, because it was such a Sarah built it. Everything that you see in that house, every panel, every floor covering, every cornice was chosen by her. It's her, profoundly her house. So you can't help but feel her in that house. But it was a benign. I felt it wasn't a, ooh, this is, and I've been in places where I feel like this. I thought, I don't like this place. I don't want to stay here. I didn't feel that in the Winchester house. I felt there was a sweetness, there was a kindness there. And certainly everything that I read about Sarah Winchester, the very few people who worked with her, and they were very loyal to her, and they loved her. They said she was a very, very sweet, kind person. I did feel that.
So, why all the noise? Why all this construction?
They want me to build, Doctor. The spirits, killed by the rifle, they guide me.
Guide you in drawing building plans?
Yes. You see, once their rooms are completed, their presence grows stronger.
Hence the house that spirits built.
Yes. At the chime of midnight, they clamor. The bells summon them. They communicate through plans, drawings. They want me to reconstruct the rooms that they died in. Then they can enter our world. The trouble is, I don't always know who it is I'm speaking with. It could be some innocent bystander or a victim of a crime or someone else.
I think in a lot of these myths, these legends, the women are often misconstrued as these hysterical, emotional, insane women. And I do a lot of content about ME and having chronic fatigue syndrome. And because it's an illness that affects more women than men, it's often not taken seriously because maybe we're emotional or hysterical. I wonder if that's something you've experienced yourself within the film industry, in your career, in life in general, and how you deal with that.
I think absolutely without doubt in life in general, women's voices have been sidelined or simply ignored. And, that's the great thing that's happened with this, the volcanic eruption that's happened in Hollywood and is reverberating throughout the world, is that I think it profoundly changes something that to me is as clear as, A and B. It's just so basic that women are, surprise, surprise, human beings, with exactly the same capability for ignorance and capability for knowledge as men are, the same capabilities for expression. All people need is the opportunity. That's all they need. And that goes across gender and across race, obviously.
Hear, hear.
And disabilities and everything.
Yeah.
All people need is an opportunity.
Yeah.
You don't believe any of this, I understand.
Ma'am, I do not. I do not believe in anything I cannot see or study.
Make your assessment, Doctor. Say what you feel is the truth about Sarah Winchester.
And if that means you lose control of your company.
Oh, there are worse things in this world to lose than that, Doctor.
So I've just interviewed Helen Mirren about this film, but so relieved. I decided to have a weekend off from vlogging. We've had a lot on. You will now know that Cy has just launched his new business, which is called Nomads. It's a vegan cooking venture, so basically he can be hired for events. He's going to be at food markets, perhaps at festivals. We don't know how it's going to go or where it's going to lead him right now, but his first event is on Saturday. So really we've been just trying to prep for that, get him all sorted. You have no idea till you embark on these things what it involves. We've had, remember in the vlog the other day when I said we had a stressful morning but I can't tell you what it was about? Well, basically we had the health and safety hygiene guy come to test Cy basically, and he was here for 2.5 hours. We were all waiting, just feeling extremely stressed for Cy, but he passed with flying colours. He got the full 5-star hygiene rating, which was fantastic. But there's all sorts of like certificates, legal documentations, registering, not to mention all like the cooking equipment, the gazebo, the branding. There's been so much to do, so that's why we've both been a bit stressed and preoccupied the last few months, but hopefully it will all be worth it and Cy's dream can start to become a reality. And I've been feeling stressed all this weekend. I know it sounds like amazingly fun and stuff, but I stress myself out with these sort of things, which obviously is a huge treat, a huge privilege. As I always tell you guys, and I don't know if you guys really realise it, but I am a very nervous, very shy person actually. Yeah, I find these things extremely daunting. But what I'm trying to explain to my mum and Cy as I drive myself insane this morning, pacing up and down the house and panicking, is that it's not the interviewing Helen Mirren that scares me, not at all. It's the thing with film junkets is you only get like 5 minutes. I like longer interviews because I like that time to build momentum, build a rapport. So it's the stress of having 5 minutes and knowing in those 5 minutes there's questions you have to get in there. So you can't just allow conversation to flow. You're constantly thinking, I need to mention that. I said I was going to ask that, so I have to do that. Because you have to send your questions over beforehand. And my usual style is just, like I said, having a chat. So I'm not used to having actual questions. And it's also the fact that at these film junkets, if you see Notting Hill and Hugh Grant when he says he's from Horse and Hound, often you have an audience in the room, so there'll be their PR or their agent. You might have the PRs from the film. You've obviously got the camera crew. Obviously for me it's usually just me and the band. Sometimes they're PR, but quite often they just leave me to it. So it's more the public speaking and the time limitation that stresses me out. It's not sitting down with Dame Helen Mirren. I'm sure she's going to be an absolute delight and she's just a human after all, but it's the other stuff. Anyway, I've made myself feel even more stressed about it now. Anyway, so Cy is feeling stressed as well, obviously, because he's got his first thing on Saturday and he's got to get lots of bits today. So he's going to sort out the van that he needs to hire so he can get the equipment to the venue, food items and equipment. So we're both just like generally complete messes today. I wish you could fast forward time to the point where you know it's all been okay and there's nothing to worry about. Yeah, so you know you're tired when you fall asleep in your polo neck and then you wake up like being strangled by your clothes. God. So I'm just waiting for Cy to finish getting ready. Standard. We're going to local wholesalers this morning just to get all the actual food product bits for his business. He's got loads of other stuff, I'll show you. He's got like Tupperware, he's got all the cutlery type stuff, he's got these what they're called, water bath, I think, bain-marie, no, can't remember what they're called, but basically they're going to have candles underneath and like a water bath and it will keep food warm. There's the actual grill that he'll be cooking his food on, tables, yeah, basically taken over the house, but it's only temporary. Once He's a bit sorted. There'll be places for all this. More Tupperware, more... why can't I think of what normal everyday objects are? Paper towels, thank you. He's got some of the lovely like sriracha mayos and chili sauce, because of course his dishes will have a bit of a kick to them. They're the candles. A big whacking great knife. Jackfruit, we need to get more jackfruit I imagine today. Oh, and some powder-free blue vinyl gloves. It's crazy how many things you need to get. Like, it's not cheap, but obviously it's going to be an investment. It's not expecting to make millions, but you get one life, guys. And if you can, you should strive for your dreams and your passions, like Simon is. Obviously, though, I think there's a bit too much of this stuff, like, just do it, like, just go for it, when like some people need to factor in the fact they've got to feed the children, they've got to pay their mortgage. You can't just drop everything sometimes, so it's sometimes a bit of a process, and that's fine. Ready? Yes, I'm ready. I'm ready before you. I've been waiting for you, you cheeky monkey.
Let's get cracking. Do you want anything up at Sainsbury's, you two?
My goodness, that's a lot of carrots. Guys, look at the size of this cheese compared to my hand. It's crazy. Can't buy any of it. Look at the size of this yogurt. This is a dangerous aisle for me to find. Uh-oh. Oh dear. Oh dear. I love this place. My new favourite place. Look at all those onions. These onions were $3.99 for the whole bag. These are the biggest cakes I've ever seen. Oh my lord. Oh my god. What's that? Oh, macarons! I love these big sauces. Look at the size of this mustard. I love it. Everything looks great big. Food big, better. Mushy pea. You can get a pan of mushy peas. Pot rather. Thought of 50 hot dogs swimming away inside this tin make me feel a little bit ill first thing in the morning. Ooh. Now we're really in trouble. One of the worst things about going vegan. Oh, I love you. I love you. So I found that aisle I was really worried about because I was worried my willpower would just stand the temptations. Look guys, can you see behind me? Look at all these sweets that cost nothing but you get loads. Look, is that not a dream? Oh god, and then behind it's just chocolate after chocolate in massive boxes. Oh god, I'm resisting. Take me away. Are you proud of me? I didn't put anything on the trolley. Are you proud?
Apart from the arthrites.
They're not for me, they're for Mum.
Are they?
Yes. I might smell them a bit though. So we've got all the bits we can get from the wholesalers, and I've just found out we now have to go to Tesco. The glamour continues. So basically some things like the really vegan products, the wholesalers still aren't quite up to speed on that, so we're going to go to Tesco's and get things like the Violife cheese, I don't know what else. Oh goodness. And then maybe in a bit I might start my own work. Sigh.
What?
Why would you do this when you know I'm a vlogger that has a camera nearby? I want everyone to know how weird you really are. You always think it's me that's the weird one, but so I've always wanted to do this as he gets in a massive box and crawls around the lounge. You bloody weirdo.
Life goal ticked.
So how are you going to top that today?
Can't. That's it. Can't get better than that, I'm afraid.